presenter, Shri Gabin Kattukaran. He is Director, Mechelonic Engineers Private Limited, and is known for its Mechelonic Engineers is known for its engineering prowess, vast experience over 4 decades, and its ability to take on the most challenging jobs and providing bespoke, enduring and scientific solutions to its customer. And today the presentation is on rail flash but welder. So let's welcome Shri Gabin for his presentation.
Good afternoon. I have 15 minutes to keep you awake and introduce you to Mechelonic Engineers, a company that has been making train rides smoother for more than 35 years now. So let me introduce you to the company. We are a company that specializes in what is called resistance welding. Resistance welding is where you join 2 pieces of metal without adding any filler material. You just use the parent material itself, heat it up, press it together, and weld them. So as a company, we do have standard machines, which include spot, projection, seam, and flash butt welding. We build special purpose machines for very specific applications. We also do entire production lines where welding is the primary operation. And we do turnkey projects as well, again, where resistance welding is the primary operation. We also are involved in the maintenance and service of welding plants. We are a company that was established in 1980. We are headquartered in Bombay. We have manufacturing facilities in Vapi, in Vasai, which is just outside Bombay, as well as Bangalore. We have sales and service offices here in Delhi, Calcutta, Bangalore as well as a separate office. And we have our service network, which is spread out even further than that. So if I had to introduce our company, I think the best way to do it is to talk about the values that we espouse. And this is basically what we like to say are our values. The first is loyalty to our customers, to our employees, and our partners. We don't show any partiality there. We are committed to solving our customers' problems, committed to delivering the latest and best technologies, and also to building long-lasting relationships. Again, the long-lasting relationships goes to all 3, customers, employees, as well as our partners. And we are very proud of the fact that most of our customers and our employees and our vendors stay with us for decades, not just years. The customers that we deal with are right across the manufacturing industry, automobile, railways, aerospace, steel, power plants, nuclear power, switchgear, defense, everything really. Wherever there is metal joining involved, we normally have a customer there. Some of the achievements that we have, we've given some machines to the steel industry for making sheet steel coils. And these are machines which are completely integrated, which means that there is zero interaction with the operator. The operator only checks to see that everything is okay. Otherwise, there is nothing else. The machine communicates with the line control and the MIS about that, and it works completely automatically. We have built some machines which are used for making high security fences. These are the fences which are in place on the national borders of our country. And we are very proud to have that those were manufactured on machines supplied by us. We also cater to the defense industry. We have given entire manufacturing lines both to our Indian defense manufacturers and some abroad as well. And this is one of the newer projects that we've done, where we've been working a lot with the nuclear fuel industry. These are the people who manufacture the fuel bundles that go into the nuclear power plants, where, as you can understand, given the nature of the material being used, the standards are very stringent, the tolerances are very tight, and there is absolutely zero room for error. And we've been supplying machines to them for now close to a decade, and we are happy that, that they're all working in excellent condition. Coming back to the topic at hand over here is how we deal with the Indian Railways. We are the only Indian manufacturer that supplies flash butt welding equipment for continuous welded rail. As many of you are probably aware, high-speed rail, even medium speed and low speed rail for smooth rides use continuous welded tracks which go up to around a quarter kilometer long without any joints. And we are the only manufacturer in India who are capable of supplying the equipment to the Indian Railways and other manufacturers for this purpose. To give you a historical perspective, I think in the mid to late 80s, the Indian Railways started setting up plants at the various zonal railways for the manufacturing of continuous welded rail. These were primarily imported plants either from the UK or from Europe, but they ran into some trouble because of maintenance and support issues given the distances involved, and also the suitability of this equipment to the Indian environment. We started working with the Indian Railways towards in the late 80s, which was primarily providing support to these plants. Then in the early 90s, around 91, 92, when the Northeastern Railway decided to set up its own plant, we successfully bid for that and won the contract to install the first indigenous welding plant for the Indian Railways. The plant was commissioned in 1994, and I'm happy to say that for the last 30 years, it has been in continuous operations, at times being the best, being given the award for the best performing plant in the Indian Railways. Right? In 1994, this was revolutionary in the sense that not only was it the first indigenous plant, but we supplied the plant in a turnkey basis. All the ancillary equipment was given by us. It had a PC-based digital data acquisition system, which monitored a number of parameters of the process and holds that data for the lifetime of the rail, which means that even if the rail is put on track on the field, if it lasts for a couple of decades, if there is any issue with that track, with the rail, you can always come back and pull the data on that and verify whether everything was correct or if something went wrong. And the system, as I said, is still in operation 30 years later. After that, the Indian Railways, for some reason, stopped procuring these plants or stopped setting up new plants. However, the Bhilai steel plant chose to integrate a welding plant into their rolling line, and we were instrumental in setting that up in the early 2000s. In addition to the rail welding, we also set up the rail handling systems for that, and that was another feather in our cap. More recently, since around 2015 or 16, the Indian Railways went about setting up a new standard for the flash butt welding plants. In 2019, the standard was published as IRS T49. We were very happy to cooperate with our DSO by providing some input for the standard. Now, all plants that are commissioned in India have to follow the standard, and we are very happy to say that we do as well. The latest plant that we have supplied is given to the South Central Railway, installed in Maulali in Secunderabad, and that was set up in 2022. We actually won the contract and got the letter of acceptance from the railways, I think 4 days before the COVID lockdown was announced. And we had to work through the entire lockdown period to supply and set up this plant. And we are very happy to say that it is working wonderfully today. So the rail flash butt welding plant, in short, consists of the welding machine itself. There's an automatic weld stripping system to clean out the weld after the process. There is an auto alignment system to ensure that the rails are perfectly aligned before they are welded. As I mentioned earlier, there's a weld data recorder. Of course, we have a much more advanced data recorder now from what we had given earlier, and a fume extraction system to pull out the particulate matter that is generated during the weld. This plant can weld up rails of cross-section up to 12,000 square millimeters, from 52 kg per meter rails all the way up to 68 kg per meter rails. Normal grades, resistant grades, up to 130 kg per millimeter square UTS. The production capacity of these plants, they're rated for around 20 joints per hour of 60 kg per meter rail. The actual welding time, of course, is much lower than that. About 90 to 100 seconds is what we have achieved. But because of the rail handling and upstream, downstream operations, 20 joints per hour is what we can guarantee. And the rail lengths can vary anywhere between 13 meters to up to 80 meters, and the machine will handle that. In addition to the welding machine, we also provide the ancillary equipment. In this case, if there is any kinks in the rail during the handling, prior to bringing to the welding machine, there's a pre-straightening machine. And if there's a kink that is added to the rail during the welding process, there's a post-straightening machine as well. Both of these are part of the standard supply in any welding plant. There is also a rail and cleaning system, as one of the presenters earlier, or one of the questions earlier was asking about what happens to scale and rust, that is, and other degradation of rail track. So we provide a rail end brushing machine so that it cleans out to provide a clean contact for the weld prior to the welding operation. We are happy to announce that currently we are executing an upgradation of the plant that we had set up 30 years ago. The letter of acceptance was issued a month ago, I suppose. We will be replacing all the major equipment. And in addition to that, we will be providing the brushing machine and the cleaning machine that I just spoke about. We will also be upgrading the rail handling system to meet the new RDSO standards. So what we as a company can offer today to the Indian Railways or any other organization that is willing, that requires this, is a complete plant meeting the latest RDSO standards, all the machinery, all the handling systems, and complete integration of the plant. Today, given that all of our machines are digitally controlled, there is data acquisition built into all of them, and all of this data can be collated, stored, and analyzed at any point in time. In addition to this, we also provide maintenance, service, and support for existing stationary and mobile plants. And we are currently in the process of developing a mobile flash butt welding plant, which is used these days primarily by the Metro Rail for installation of their rail track. Hopefully, maybe one of the future editions of this, I can come back over here and say that we have successfully supplied that as well. If I had to recap what our strengths are, I would say that, Mechelonic Engineers has been an expert in resistance welding in India for 4 decades or more. We have a lot of experience designing, building, installing machines, and ensuring that they meet the strict standards of our customers, whether they're the Indian Railways, the automobile industry, the nuclear fuel industry, the defense industry, aerospace, any of them. We have our manufacturing facilities here in India, which means that turnaround times are much quicker and response times are also much faster. We have well, I shouldn't be saying this, our customers should be saying this, but we do have an excellent reputation in the market, and we are a trusted brand. So that about covers my introduction.